Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 101 Dalmatians challenge here in Sims 3 with all expansion packs and quite a bit of custom content. And we are here for a very special short episode because I need your guys' help on voting for the next mate for Basil, who is our Generation 2 heir to the 101 Dalmatians challenge. So we really fell in love with Basil because he is our only liver-spotted Dalmatian, and he just had a really great personality. He's bonded with Terry a lot, and now that he is almost fully trained, we are getting ready. Ignore the sound of the aliens coming and going in the background, by the way. Oh my goodness. But we are getting ready to pick out a new mate for him. And I need your guys' help because we've been very divided in the community about deciding what his mate is going to look like. So I have made 4 different Dalmatian females that we can come and add onto the farm and use as his mate for the next generation that I need you guys to vote on. So in just a second here, we're going to jump over and we are going to look at each one of the females, and you guys are going to help me pick out who Basil's mate is going to be. But I just thought I would show off Basil once again. He is our liver-spotted Dalmatian, and he is only one trick away from knowing all of his tricks. To make sure that we make this challenge fun without being a puppy farm, what we are doing is making sure that both of the breeding pair completely know their tricks before they're able to have puppies. And we always roll a random generator to determine how many litters the female dog is able to have before we need to move on to the next generation. So we're only going to allow like a maximum of very rarely 4 litters and probably a minimum of 2. So that's what we're going to do, and that means that probably Basil and his future mate will definitely want to have these special fertility boosts so we can get as many puppies out of them as possible at a time. Oh goodness, and there he is. There he is. But I'm very excited to see where we're going to go from here. I've come up with some awesome rules for the dog show idea that I will be sharing with you guys in the future. We're going to be doing interactive dog shows with you guys in the future. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, we might even make it so you guys can submit your dogs and we can have like competitions between each other to see who gets the most points and thus who manages to get the trophy. So I think that would be really fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it, but for now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at Basil's potential mates. So I'll show those lovely ladies to you guys, and then you guys make sure to check the video description for the straw poll and vote on the dog of Basil's dreams. All right, you guys ready for this? Let's go check on the girls. All right, and so here are the lovely ladies. So these are the 4 Dalmatians that you guys have to pick from and to vote for in the straw poll in the video description down below. And one of these lovely ladies is going to become the new mate for Basil. So remember, the idea is, at least for the more alien looking, the 3 other dogs, that would be a dog given to Lyra as a gift from her mother, her alien mother Suas. And this lovely lady happens to be a plain Jane Dalmatian that we'll say is coming from a family relation of Roger and Anita. If not family relation, because then that raises odd questions about why Roger and Anita wouldn't actually greet them, then a distant relation, just like a dog breeder sort of relation that Roger and Anita knew of. And this is the lovely Margery. So she is more of a classic Dalmatian with some funky spots, kind of in interesting spots, funky spots and interesting spots. You guys know what I mean. With her spots sort of spread out in areas that normally you wouldn't see on a classic Dalmatian, but she keeps the black and white Dalmatian theme in the appropriate proportion of black and white so that she would be more your classic Dalmatian. And this is the choice for those of you who do not want to see us start adding in oddly colored Dalmatians to the series. If you just want to stick with your normal looking Dalmatians and charge forward through the series, then this is the dog that you want to pick. So Margery has beautiful blue eyes. She's got a nice little collar on just to show off that she's from some excellent pedigree bloodlines, and she does have the benefit of being from a really high class kennel. So she's well known. She's from a great earth kennel. She has a long lineage of some very respectable family members, her mother and father and all of her siblings and so on and so forth back into the family lines have great bloodlines, and I'm sure that she would be quite the hit at the future dog shows that we are going to be having, which I'm really looking forward to. So she's a pretty nice dog, being a little bit more of your classic dog. She's been trained in the things that you really want to see a dog that you would get from a kennel have, such as being a good hunter. So she would be able to go and she would be able to dig up some really great finds on the farm. So she may really enjoy the open fields and the plenty of awesome places that Basil would be able to show his brand new mate to dig for bones or maybe dig for some rare gemstones. But she would be kind of like your traditional earth dog. She also is non-destructive, so she would be very good and she would only dig holes where she's allowed to dig holes. And she would be quiet, so she's very thoughtful and quiet. Kind of not quite a genius, but almost there. We might try to give her that trait somehow. And just a really good dog, and a good dog from a good family. So Margery, this is the choice for those of you who would like to stick to your classic puppies, you know, not deviate too far into new looking Dalmatians, but we did give her a great smattering of undercoat spots, so that way we can at least shake up any puppies that she may have a little bit. Not to mention, don't forget that Basil is liver spotted, so any of his puppies may also be liver spotted as well. I'm not sure how strongly he carries that trait, but it would be really fun to see what kind of puppies he would have. And then we move in to the alien genetically modified dogs. So all three of these dogs have been genetically modified by SUAS in order to provide a broader selection for the audience that they have for buying the dogs. Because remember, in our story, the Dalmatians are really, really hot commodities in intergalactic trade. They're considered to be kind of like a luxury pet from Earth that you really want to have. And Roger and Anita, because of their relationship with SUAS, kind of have an in on that network, and they're really able to sell all of their dogs for really, really great prices. We say that's kind of where a lot of the Tiberium cells comes from. They sell some of the gemstones, but they're really well known for their dogs. And so we kind of say all of the money we make from the Tiberium is actually from sales of their Dalmatians to the intergalactic market. So the aliens can adopt them, they can coo over them, entire cities flock to see them on other planets. They're really kind of almost worshipped on other planets. So that's really fun. But you know, if you have the capability to mess around with genetics as aliens do, why wouldn't you try out some new colors? Eventually, even though people love the classic look like Margery and Basil may have together with their puppies, they might want something a little bit new and different. And since we have also already enjoyed 20 odd Dalmatians that all kind of look the same with just slight variation in their spots, I thought this would be kind of fun to try out a few different patterns and a few different colors and see what kind of puppies those would produce. So SUAS would be bringing one of these three dogs to give to her daughter as a gift. So in any case, probably whatever dog we have or one of the puppies from these dogs is going to become Lyra's companion, because Lyra is going to get a companion. But if it's one of the alien dogs, that will for sure be her companion. So I'm really excited for Lyra to get her pet as well. So this is our very first selection. It's Despina. So this is a all black Dalmatian with white spots kind of scattered all over the place. She's got some really nice round spots here and there. She's got some faded spots here and there. She's very, very friendly. She's got some nice, interesting gray eyes. And her traits are genius, hyper, and likes swimming. So that's what she's got for her traits. I don't know if the hyper might be a little bit much, but I figured a genetically modified dog may have a negative trait now and then too, because you never know what you're going to do if you're just going for looks after all. But I really like her. So she's kind of like the black of night with these stars of the cosmos showing through on her fur. So this is the next selection that you could pick. So this is pick number 2. Remember, that's Despina. They're going to have their names listed on the straw poll, so you can kind of pick between them. And then next up is a dog that's been very, very modified. And I have to say, probably my personal favorite, Nysa. This is Nysa. She is an all-black dog with spots, colored spots scattered across her fur. And when she moves, she actually looks somewhat metallic because of the ripples. It's almost like watching the metallic look of a bird feather. So when she moves, it's just really amazing because everywhere she turns, you can kind of see she's got a different layer, a different color. The tones shift. She seems to almost shimmer as she moves. And so I am very, very, very fond of her look. I really like the look that she has. It's very bold and striking to me and very beautiful. So I am a little biased. This is my favorite of the dogs, but I am happy to go with any of them. And don't forget, I have saved these dogs. So in the future, one of them, even if we don't pick the one that you wanted this time, she or a lookalike will be up for adoption next time it's time to breed dogs. So that would be really, really fun, but I really like her. I really like this look. I think it would be really fun. There's all sorts of colors and subtle colors and different like opacities on the different coat layers that could come through. So it would be very interesting to see how this would mix with Basil for sure. So I'm really in love with this look. And so this is Nysa. And she is very, very beautiful, almost metallic-y. She really is like moving a bird feather around in your hand. And then her traits are friendly, like swimming, and skittish. So again, kind of one trait to balance out the fact that they are indeed genetically modified dogs. So she is a little bit skittish, and we'll give her a little bit, let's see. We'll give her like a bit of a higher pitched bark, I think. No, let's give her a low pitched bark because that's what it looks like. And with a name like Nysa, she deserves a low pitched bark. But yeah, in her eyes, I'm actually going to change the color of her eyes to purple eyes. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I meant to change that already, but we're going to kind of change it up so that she's got these kind of lightish purple eyes. There we go. Yeah, and we'll try to, maybe we'll put it down here perhaps, and then maybe up here. Okay, that looks a little bit intense. But she is an alien genetically modified dog, so I like that. Okay, we'll go with that. It is a little bit intense, but I want her to look purposely slightly off, just a teensy bit. And then finally, we have Aurora. So Aurora even, is the very last choice for all of the puppies, and we can give her like some nice pretty eyes. I think we'll give her light blue eyes. But as you can see, she is a white dog with all sorts of lightly colored spots scattered across her. So she's kind of supposed to represent a little bit of something like the Aurora Borealis, and we'll go ahead and give her really nice light eyes. Let's go for like really nice light blue if I can manage. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a good color for her. Maybe a little bit less teal though. So yeah, I've had to fuss around with that a little bit. I've been actually messing around with trying to do these dog coats for the last hour and a half. So that's why we're just doing some voting on the dogs today. But I'm really happy. I think Aurora would be an absolutely excellent addition. She's a good choice too. She just has something about her that I think maybe she and Basil on a personality level would get along pretty well. But I'm not sure if her colors are perhaps what I would want right away, but they might blend the easiest compared other than like Margery. But I do think her colors would blend the easiest other than like your classic Dalmatian with Basil instead of being maybe kind of a clashing shock. And I think that Nysa, oh man, she's so beautiful though. And Despina, I think that those two might be a little bit more of kind of like a smashing shock of sort of arty colors if we put them and Basil together. So there's our choices, and we'll look over Aurora's personality. She is hydrophobic, she is loyal, and she is quiet. So she is afraid of water, but she is very loyal and she is quiet. So she's a very thoughtful dog. And she has this little blue lip down there. I really like it, little blue chin. So there are 4 lovely ladies to pick from. Make sure you guys go and look in the video or description and you click on the straw poll, because it is going to be the straw poll that I'm going to decide on the mate for Basil for. And I'm not sure if the mate for Basil will show up in the next episode. I might give it a few days just so that more people have the opportunity to kind of vote on everybody. But then when we decide, and once we get Basil fully trained, then we will bring his beautiful female onto the farm. We'll be able to have Lyra and Suas kind of have their first meet and greet of Lyra's more or less entire conscious life. They met a few times when she was a toddler, but I don't think Lyra would really remember that very much. I don't know, maybe alien memories work better than sim memories? That's a good question. And then we will train up the female dog as quickly as we can, and then we'll also roll a random generator to see how many litters she's allowed to have before we'll say that's too much for her health, and start having the puppies. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you guys choose, and I'm very excited to see who Basil's mate is going to be. So we'll carry on with our adventures at the Radcliffe Deerley farm, probably taking care of gemstones and starting the pet rescue being built up next time. And then I'll give it a few days, and then we will see when Basil's beautiful mate is supposed to arrive. So thank you guys so much, and I cannot wait to see which one of these lovely dogs you end up choosing. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.